She texted you at 11 p.m. I think we need to talk. You read it. Heart dropped. Worst case scenario floods your brain instantly. Something's wrong. She's unhappy. She's leaving. You grab your phone and start typing. What happened? Did I do something wrong? Tell me, I'll fix everything. Please, let's talk right now. 3 messages in 1 minute, then another, then a phone call. She doesn't pick up. Another call, and right there, in those 3 minutes of panic, you just failed a test you didn't even know existed. She wasn't planning to leave. She wasn't upset. Maybe she just wanted to discuss weekend plans. But those 3 minutes told her more about you than 6 months of dating. She saw fear, insecurity, dependence, a willingness to drop everything and come running at the snap of her fingers. And somewhere deep inside, at a level she herself doesn't consciously recognize, something clicked. A small switch. Attraction dropped 1 notch. Welcome to the world of female testing, the most brutal and most invisible evaluation system you face every single day, and don't even know about. Today we're breaking down what these tests are, why women run them, which ones are the most common, and why 90% of men fail them over and over again. This is going to be uncomfortable. Let's go. Why she tests you. First question, why? Why would a woman test a man she's already with? Why check someone she already chose? Sounds illogical, right? Wrong. It's incredibly logical. Just not your logic. It's evolutionary logic. Go back 100,000 years. You're a woman in a tribe. You have a small child. You depend on the man beside you. He hunts, he protects, he ensures survival. But here's the question that never goes away. Is he reliable? What happens if enemies come? Does he fight or run? What if there's famine? Does he find a way or fall apart? What if another woman appears, and does he stay or leave? You can't afford to wait and see. The stakes are life and death. You need answers now, and the only way to get them is to test. Create pressure. Watch how he reacts. This isn't anger. It isn't scheming. It's a partner reliability assessment system hardwired into the female brain over thousands of generations. It runs automatically, unconsciously, with no off switch, and it's running right now. In your relationship. The science. In 2008, evolutionary psychologists at the University of Texas published research on this. They studied female behavior in long-term relationships and found a pattern. Women periodically create situations of emotional pressure on their partners. Not randomly. Not because of a bad mood, systematically. They called it partner boundary testing. The female brain is constantly gathering data. Is this man still worthy of being my partner? Still strong? Still stable? And to get this information, the brain generates testing situations. Here's the key. In the vast majority of cases, the woman doesn't realize she's testing. She doesn't sit down and think, right, tonight I'll run test number 7. No, she just feels an impulse. Suddenly she wants to cancel plans. Suddenly she wants to start an argument over nothing. Suddenly she wants to mention her ex. It's an impulse from the limbic system, the part of the brain that still lives on the savannah and is evaluating whether this male can ensure the survival of offspring. And when researchers described these behavioral patterns to women and asked, do you do this intentionally? The overwhelming majority said no. And they weren't lying. The limbic system doesn't ask permission from consciousness. It just fires. Then consciousness invents a justification afterward. I canceled plans because I was tired. No, you wanted to see how he'd react. I mentioned my ex because he randomly texted. No, you needed to see if he gets jealous. I started a fight because he didn't wash the mug. No, you were checking if he'd break or hold. Not malicious intent. A program that's 100,000 years old. It launches automatically, like an immune system fighting a virus without asking you first. The 5 tests. Now let's break down the specific tests. 5 of the most common. You'll probably recognize at least 3. Test 1. Provocation. The classic. She says something designed to knock you off balance. A jab, a criticism, a comparison. Maybe you should work out more. My coworker Andrew got promoted last week. He's only 28. Your friend Mike was really funny at the party, by the way. What's being tested? Emotional stability. Explode, fail? You're easily destabilized. In ancient terms, a warrior who loses his head over one sentence is useless in battle. Launch into justifications. Also fail. I do go to the gym. I just missed this week. Justification is the position of the weak. You're proving her words have power over you. What passing looks like. Calm confidence. Light humor. Zero reactivity. Andrew got promoted? Good for Andrew. Tell him congrats from me. No tension, no competition, no offense. What her subconscious reads. This man is confident in himself. Words can't shake him. He's stable. Test 2. Distancing. She suddenly goes cold. Distant. Texts less, replies shorter. Stops initiating. Yesterday, everything was perfect. Laughing, hugging, making plans. Today, ice wall. What's being tested? Your independence. Start panicking, fail. 10 messages in a row. What happened? Are you mad? What did I do? That's the scream of dependency. It signals that without her, you fall apart. Go passive-aggressive. Also fail. Fine then, whatever. That's resentment. And resentment is weakness wrapped in pride. What passing looks like. You live your life. Reply calmly. Don't chase. Don't punish with silence either. Just continue doing your things. What her subconscious reads, this man is self-sufficient. He won't break if I step away. And here's the paradox. This exact behavior, calm and non-chasing, is what makes her want to come back. A man who doesn't run after her is a man worth running after. Test 3. Jealousy. She mentions another man. Casually. In passing. My coworker Dan complimented me today, said I look great in this dress. My ex texted me, asked how I'm doing. I'm going to lunch with Tom from work Thursday. What's being tested? Your confidence and ability to handle competition. Explode with jealousy. Fail. Scenes, control. Why is he texting you? Block him. That's not strength. That's fear of loss disguised as dominance. Pretend you don't care while visibly tense. She sees it. She always sees it. Women read micro-expressions twice as well as men. What passing looks like. A light reaction without anxiety. You can even joke. Dan gives compliments. Guy has good taste. This broadcasts, I'm not afraid of competition. I know my value. If you want to be here, great. If not, the door's open. Incredibly attractive. Because a man who doesn't fear competition is a man the female brain evaluates as high status. Test 4. Boundary pushing. She asks for something that crosses the line. Or does something that violates your principles. Cancel your plans with your friends. I want us to spend time together. Lend me money. I'll pay you back next week. For the 3rd time. I don't like you talking to that girl. Stop. What's being tested? Whether you have boundaries. This seems counterintuitive. She's asking, and simultaneously wants you to refuse? Yes, exactly, because a man without boundaries is a man without a spine. If you agree to everything, you're not a partner, you're a servant. And servants don't trigger attraction. A 2013 study from the University of Rochester showed that people who easily decline unreasonable requests are perceived as more attractive and confident. The ability to say no is a marker of high status. What passing looks like. A calm refusal without aggression. I can't cancel on my friends. It's important to me. Let's meet tomorrow. No justification, no apology, no guilt. What her subconscious reads. This man has values he won't betray even for my approval. And strangely, this generates deep, instinctive respect. Test 5. Emotional chaos. The most cunning test, because it looks like a real problem. She blows up over something tiny. You didn't wash a mug? You looked at her friend the wrong way. You didn't guess where she wanted to go for dinner. The reaction is wildly disproportionate to the problem. You're standing there thinking, are we seriously fighting about a mug? No, you're not fighting about the mug. The mug is the excuse. The real question her subconscious is asking, how do you behave in chaos? What's being tested? Your ability to remain a calm leader when everything falls apart. Yell back. Fail. Two people in chaos means a ship with no captain. Surrender immediately. Fine, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I'll do whatever you want. Also fail. You showed that pressure breaks you. One argument and you capitulate. What passing looks like. Acknowledge her emotions without losing yours. I can see you're upset, but I'm not going to yell. Let's talk about this properly when we've both calmed down. That's the leader position. Doesn't suppress, but doesn't submit. Can withstand an emotional storm without falling apart and without turning aggressive. And this is exactly the type of man that triggers the most powerful response in the female brain. Because for 100,000 years of evolution, this is exactly the type who ensured survival. The tests never end. If you think you'll pass 5 tests and earn a lifetime pass, forget it. Testing continues for the entire life of the relationship, because circumstances change. You might be confident today, but what happens if you lose your job? What happens in a crisis? What happens 5 years from now? Her brain constantly updates data, constantly rechecks, and the frequency of tests is itself an indicator. Testing you often and hard might mean you've already failed several and her subconscious has intensified the checks. Data inconclusive. More tests needed. Tests have become rare and light. You're passing. She's calm. Her brain got its answer. This man is reliable. What to do with this first? Don't be angry at her. She's not to blame. It's not a conspiracy. It's a biological program, as involuntary as your heart racing when you're startled. Being angry at a woman for testing is like being angry at rain. Pointless. Second, passing tests is not about suppressing emotions. It's not about becoming a robot, never getting angry, sad, or upset. It's about not letting emotions control your behavior. You can feel jealousy but not cause a scene. Feel hurt, but not go silent for days. Feel anxiety, but not send 10 messages in a row. This is called emotional regulation. And it's attractive not just to women, it's the sign of a mature human being. Third, tests are not the enemy. They're feedback. Every test shows you what to work on. Constantly failing the jealousy test? Self-esteem issues. Failing boundaries? You don't know how to say no. Failing distancing? You're too dependent. Tests are a mirror. Uncomfortable, harsh, but honest. She doesn't test you to humiliate you. She tests you to make sure that you're the one who can be trusted with her life, her safety, her future. And every time you pass it, every time you stay calm, confident, and stable under pressure, her trust grows. Her attraction grows. Her respect grows. The test never ends. But now you know the rules. The only question is, what will you show her next time?